Okay, so we've looked at the for loop, and now we are ready to look at an example of a while loop. And in this program, I have written a while loop, which I'll talk about, to fill the console with pumpkin and ghost emojis. It's October at the time I'm recording this, so I'm in the Halloween spirit. It doesn't look great the way these kind of stack on top of each other or overlap like this, but that's just I think an online GDB thing with the emojis. So we'll just live with it. But basically, okay, so I have I just looked up the Unicodes for some fall themed emojis, and I put those in variables. So you saw I was using the pumpkin and the ghost. And let's recap the essentials of counter-controlled repetition. We have a counter variable. We have a loop condition, which will evaluate to true or false. And we have the increment expression. All of those are the same in the while loop. But the thing with the while loop is, I told you I like the for loop so much because all of those essentials are baked into the header syntax. That's not the case with the while loop. So you have to be more careful with the while loop. You have to always be mindful of, okay, am I hitting all of the essentials? Because they're kind of scattered all over the place. For example, before I even think about the while loop, I have to get the loop counter in place. So I'm creating an integer variable. Okay, notice I'm not even in the loop yet, but the variable is created beforehand and initialized to the starting value, in this case 1. And here we dive into the loop. So you can see essential number 2 here is the loop condition. So we're going to keep going, keep looping while counter is less than or equal to 5,000. This task here is to fill the screen with 10,000 pumpkins and ghosts. So I made the loop go up to 5,000 because I'm printing 2 emojis per iteration. So there you have it. That's essential number 2. And then finally, just plopping those emojis into the output stream. And then, of course, essential number 3, which is the increment. Got to have that increment. This is really easy to forget. And watch what happens if you were to forget that. I've been teaching C++ for 20 years now, and I'll still forget something from time to time. And here's what happens. So you forget the increment. And it looks like everything's fine, but now the program just keeps running and running and running. There's just no end. So this is what we would call an infinite loop. If you think about it, the counter needs to change. The value of counter needs to change. It needs to grow. It needs to eventually get up to 5,001 to end this loop. If you don't increment, it just always stays at 1. And then this condition is always going to be true, no matter what. And then the loop just keeps running and running and running infinitely. So there's your first while loop. And yeah, so we'll do another one in the next video.